Hi there. We're very sorry for the technical difficulties. We're very happy that we actually are live now again. So please join the link on YouTube to watch this live event. But it's going to be recorded and you can watch it afterwards as well. I'm just going to start all over again. Please join. Hi there, I'm Ziv, and I'm excited to be hosting today's third Elementor Roadmap event. Third. Wow, time flies, eh? Like in the previous Roadmap event, we took your feedback and we were very happy to share with you what we've been busy with this past quarter and what we have in the works for the next quarter. As we maintain our strong momentum, we have surpassed 14 million websites using Elementor, accounting for nearly 8.6% of the internet. And we're also very proud of the global Elementor community, which now consists of 143.3 thousand members and counting. And on behalf of Elementor, I would like to thank you for the continuous feedback and support, and thank you for hanging in while we were facing those difficulties again. All right, look at all of these great comments. Mega freaking menu, absolutely amazing. Wow, I was upset with Elementor last year, but now I'm elated with all the updates. Keep going. We just love getting these messages, so please keep sending them, and we love sharing them as well. All right, I'm joined today with Gabi, Asaf, and Dean from Product Marketing, and Celine, an Elementor specialist, here in the studio. And we'll also have Ash joining us remotely. He will be demoing some of the great features, as well as a few additional guests who will share some messages with you throughout the show. All right, let's see what we have on the agenda for today. We'll start with a review of some of the new features that recently went live in Elementor 3.14. And then we'll introduce some of the new hosting features that are already available and see what we have in store for the upcoming quarter. After that, we'll check out the advanced editing capabilities you should be seeing in the plugin in the third quarter of 2023. We'll also talk about existing features, many of which were highly requested by you and have been enhanced. And last but not least, prepare to be amazed by Elementor AI. All right, before we get started, I want to bring up a short message from Richard. Hey Richard, what is your background with WordPress and Elementor?
Yeah, I've been working with WordPress for about 20 years now, and with Elementor since it came out. I joined the Elementor team in March 2022 in the Tier 2 technical support team, and we're based out of the US.
What are the new plans for the Customer Support Center?
Well, yes, my customer experience role has shifted to social media and communities. Together with my colleague Igor, we have improved our social coverage since we are in different time zones, where we bring our support experience to all our users. In the global community, we serve as moderators and will gladly help and investigate when needed.
What does your new role as Public Relations Specialist mean?
We're continuously improving the customer experience. As part of that, we are revamping all the support resources, including a new support center, the help documents, and the academy to help you build the website of your dreams. Here is a sneak peek of what that will look like.
The Support Center is a centralized location to get support resources. It provides a curated list of solutions and allows you to search our vast knowledge base or contact our team if you didn't find the answer you're looking for by submitting a ticket or opening a chat. Recent improvements include the ability to select a topic. After selecting a topic, the Support Center will suggest the most common solutions that might help. In case you open a ticket, our agents will be notified of what you've searched for so we can provide solutions faster. Or opening a chat. In the near future, we'll add features like the ability to view your recent chat conversations and following up on the ones that are open. The Help Center is a collection of articles grouped into different topics. It contains a vast body of knowledge regarding everything you need to know about Elementor. The CX team is working to redo the Help Center from the ground up. We're improving the categorization to create a clear hierarchy of the knowledge. All the articles will be reviewed and reconstructed according to the new hierarchy. This will lead to more effective search and navigation, which means you can easily find the article you're looking for. Finally, all the articles will have a new, more user-friendly and uniform design. We've created 10 articles to give a taste of the new experience. Search for Understanding Domains in the Help Center, and then you can navigate through the entire series of articles about domains in that section. This is an ongoing experiment, and we would love your feedback via the form in the Suggest Article Improvement section of each article. The Academy contains collections of videos by topic. To improve your learning process, we've created a brand new type of content, the learning path. A learning path is a step-by-step visual guide that covers everything you need to know about a process or a topic. We are working on a complete revamp of the Academy. We will create a learning path for each product and type of website. For example, a learning path that guides a user through how to create a blog using the Elementor Pro plugin. We'll also create learning paths by topic, like everything you need to know about dynamic content. We'd love your input. Go check out any of the learning paths on the Academy homepage at elementor.com/academy and leave your comments there.
All right, thank you very much for that. Now let's move on to the next topic and see what's new in Elementor 3.14. Let's hear from Selena Dash about the new features available to you. Hi, Celine. Welcome and thank you for joining us today. I'm going to get right back to you. Before I hand it over, I also want to welcome Ash to the show. So welcome, Ash.
Hi, Ziv. Great to be here as always.
Awesome having you. We're going to see some demos from you. So stay tuned. Over to you, Celine.
Thank you, Ziv. It's great to be here. I want to start with introducing the new carousel widget. Over the past years, we have introduced many widgets that will help you create captivating carousels with different types of content in focus. We've had the slides, media carousel, testimonial carousel widgets, and more. They all served us well in commonly used sections on websites. Each widget have unique styling options, responding to diverse design needs. We knew that you wanted to do more. The demand for enhanced carousel functionality was second on the list of feature requests on GitHub. Within this scope, we started working on widgets that harness the power of containers and nested capabilities. Over the past few releases, we added the new tabs widget, menu widget, and now we are doing the same for the carousel widget. The new carousel was released in version 3.14, and similar to the nested tabs, each slide in this new widget creates a new container for the content area, and this allows you to create any layout you like and use any widget you want. The new carousel gives you complete design freedom in creating great experiences for your visitors. As you can see in this example of a modern arts gallery, each slide is used for a different purpose that has different elements. The first slide has a CTA button below 2 images. The second slide has a video placed in, and on the third slide, you can see that Transform Rotate is applied on the image. With that in mind, the next step in our roadmap is to bring advanced controls to navigation and pagination options, and different transition options for the slides. We have one more thing that we will release soon within the scope. We will reveal it later on. I would like to now hand it over to Ash so you can see the new carousel widget in action.
Great. Thank you, Celine. So yeah, let's check out the nested carousel. As you can see, I've got a page here, and if I scroll down, you can see I've made a pretty good start on this nested carousel. Now, the great thing with the new nested carousel is that we do have complete design freedom to build absolutely anything that we like. You know, every slide can be completely different. Each slide is made of a container, as you can see here. In fact, let's open up the structure so we can see it a little bit better. So each slide is made of a container, and inside that container, you can add anything you like. It could be more containers like I've done here, widgets, etc., as many as you like, to really give you that full design freedom. I'll just shut this down. So let's check out what we can do with the nested carousel. So I have pretty much finished this one, but I've got a few more steps to go. I want to add some custom navigation arrows, and I want to add a fourth and final slide as well. So with the widget selected, you can see on the left-hand side here, I can control the slides that we have. I can add new ones by duplicating existing ones, or I can add new blank ones if I would like to. We can control every aspect here. We can control how many slides we would like to display per device as well, so it doesn't just have to be on desktop. We can control how many slides it scrolls by, and we also have that really helpful equal height option there as well. Underneath the settings, we can control the animation as well as the behavior of the carousel. So we can tell it if we want it to be an infinite scroll, if it auto plays, that type of thing. And we can control the direction, whether it goes left or right. Under navigation, this is where we're going to add our custom SVGs. So I'm going to update these here. So let's do the left one first. I've already uploaded these, so this doesn't take too long. And I've also set the position so that it sits just 35 pixels off the side of the carousel there. So that it can be viewed a little bit more easily. And let's just do the same for the right-hand one there as well. And we'll amend the size of these arrows shortly. The last option we see here is the pagination settings. We have these switched off for our website, but as you can see, we can add dots, fraction, and progress if we so wish. Now, under the Style tab, what do we see here? Well, remember that under this Style tab, okay, everything that we set here applies to the entire carousel, but we can modify slides on an individual basis. So we can do things like set gap between the slides. Okay, we actually want them nice and close to each other, so we're going to leave them as 0. We can add a background, we can add borders, we can add border radius, padding if we would like to. And then the final option here is to amend the navigation arrows themselves. So we would like them to be a little bit bigger. So let's jump them up like so, and now we can see them a lot more clearly. But we also have things like normal and hover states as well for colors, backgrounds, borders, that type of thing there. So that's our carousel configured. Let's now finish it by adding our 4th and final slide. So again, with the carousel selected, let's duplicate the 3rd slide here, and then we'll just rename this to slide 4. And if we then scroll across, and here we go, if we scroll across so we can see the 4th slide, all right, I'm going to select it, and then I'm just going to update these items. And the first thing I'm going to do is update the background image like so. And again, I do have this already uploaded, so this shouldn't take too long. We're going to update the sticker that we see here. So this one is going to say skincare, and then we're going to update the title here as well. So this is going to say natural skincare, and then just one last step is to update the icon. And just to remind you again, if we look at the structure, okay, we don't just have the container that holds the slide itself. Inside there, okay, we do have an image, we have another container which holds the heading, the icon box, and the button. And I've applied just this nice hover effect, okay, to the entire container so that when the user hovers over it, they get that nice effect there. So that's our carousel complete. Let's jump over to the front end of our website now and scroll down and check out what it looks like. So these are the 3 initial slides that we see. And if we use the navigation arrows, we now see that 4th and final slide, and it looks fantastic. And there we go. Back to you, Celine.
Thank you, Ash. That was a great demonstration. This example brings us a brand new way to present case studies in a glimpse, incorporating a video on the left and some stats on the right that could be created using either a container and 2 heading widgets in a row alignment for each row, or using a price list widget, and of course an image for the graph. In 3.12, we introduced the loop alternate template feature within the loop grid widget. This remarkable feature allows us to inject additional templates to our posts or products in the loop grid widget, helping us break the monotony of repeating content and create more exciting layouts. Thanks to this capability, we have the freedom to define the precise position of these additional loop templates within the grid. We can apply them once or set them to repeat at regular intervals, injecting refreshing elements into the layout. We can also customize the column span, allowing selected templates to occupy a larger space, creating visually stunning and disrupting single-row displays. As you can see in this block, there's a different template placed in the first position with a different image mask and different placement of titles using the alternate template function. In this example, we see that the content in the alternate template is coming from the query we chose, and the new template is simply overriding the design of the loop grid's primary loop template. Recently, in version 3.14, we upgraded this feature and introduced another highly anticipated capability, the static item position switch. This addition gives us the ability to create templates with static elements such as ads and inject them into the loop grid widget without interfering with the query settings of the posts. This addition holds immense significance, especially for blogs and high-traffic content websites. You can now seize the opportunity to generate additional revenue by leveraging this new valuable real estate within your online business. I'll leave it to Ash to demonstrate it.
Great, thanks again, Celine. So yeah, let's check out how the static item works. So as you can see, we're on my shop page here, and I am using the loop grid to display my products. The loop grid has a template inside of it, a loop template displaying the products where we can see the featured image, the title, the price, the add to cart button. And not only do we now have the ability to obviously add the alternate template like Celine mentioned, but we can also now inject a static item as well, which is going to be fantastic for displaying adverts or promoting events, which is actually what we're going to do today. And the way that we do this is by turning on the alternate template first of all. Now, with this switched on, we see some more controls. Okay, so if we open up this section here, we can now select a template that we've previously created, or we can create a new one from scratch. And if I was to click this, it would open a new tab and allow me to create a new template. Well, I've made a head start today, and if I just switch tabs here, you can see my partially built template that I would like to display within my loop grid. So this is promoting the Zero Waste Club. Okay, it's not quite finished. I do need to add a couple more widgets. So let's do that now. I'm going to drop in the button widget so that we've got a call to action to actually give the user something to do. And I'm also going to add just a couple of these sticker images in this first container that we see here. So bear with me while I just add these. I just need to adjust this and duplicate it. And now update this to event just to display that it's an event. And once I'm happy with my template, all I'm going to do is publish that template. I'm then going to switch back to the editor that has my loop grid inside. I don't need to refresh the page, okay? But in this box here, I'm going to start to type and search for that template that I just created. Now, when I select this template, nothing in the grid changes. However, we do see more controls. So if we scroll down, the most important thing here when we're injecting a static item is to turn on the static item position. So let's switch that on now. Now, with that switched on, we've told Elementor that we would like to inject a static item. We just need to give it a little bit more information to do so. So we would like the advert to appear where we see products 2 and 3. So the wooden toothbrush and the mask here. We want them to move down the row so that we can display the advert there. So first of all, we need to tell Elementor that we would like it to span 2 columns. Okay. Now with the 2 columns set, we can tell the editor where we would like it to appear in the grid. So we would like it to start here where this second item is. So I'm going to type in 2. And as you can see, our advert just instantly appears in our grid now. Okay, we see our first item as expected. And if we scroll down slightly, okay, we haven't lost those 2 products that were there. They've just been moved down the row. Okay, so the item has been injected in. And before we take a quick peek of this on the front end of our website, there's one more control I'd like to show you, and it's the apply once control. By default, it is switched on. So we do only see the static item once, but if we switch it off, you'll see that it does repeat throughout the grid. So if that's a requirement for your project, you have that available to you. So let's switch that back on because we do only want it to appear twice. And if we jump over to the front end of our website, we can see our grid in action. We see our first product, and then we see our static item, which is this advert for this event. And then if we continue to scroll, all of our products have just dropped down to the next row and we haven't lost any of them. And there we go. Back to you, Celine.
Thank you, Ash. As you can also see in this e-commerce example, a different template with static content is used to direct visitors of the shop to view a new collection by switching on the static item position and displaying content that doesn't come from the query. Back to you, Ziv.
Thank you very much, Celine and Ash. What a great demo. We'll see you both back again just a little bit later. All right. Next up, we have a special message from Amitai, our Chief Product Officer, regarding the plugin roadmap. can you recap 2023 so far before diving into what's next?
As most of you know, we've spent a lot of time and resources in 2022 building out our infrastructure and improving our processes in order to be able to support faster and higher quality releases at scale. Now, this has now allowed us to dramatically increase our release pace and the scope of each release in 2023, with a meaningful release coming out every 6 weeks. Just this year, we've released almost 300 updates to the product, including 21 new features like the mega menu, the grid containers, the loop carousel, nested tabs, and many other features, some of which have been at the top of the most requested feature list for a very long time. We've also released more than 250 fixes, tweaks, and other enhancements, such as accessibility improvements, adding your own custom icons, and the list goes on and on. 2023 has been packed with new features so far, and it's been both fun and exciting to finally ship all these long-awaited features. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in the pipeline, so stay tuned.
What are the main goals for the upcoming quarter?
So this quarter is going to be a little different than the last 2 quarters in terms of shining new features. Our first focus this quarter will be mainly around cleaning up and finalizing all these shining new features, formerly known as experiments, and bringing them to maturity. We have a lot of features in there, including a bunch of performance improvement features, and many of these features are based and dependent upon the containers. And as we've communicated in the past, that was a big change. We wanted to make sure that we handle this transition responsibly. So we took the time, and Q3 is going to be about finalizing everything, bringing everything to maturity, and make sure that these features are safe to be used on all the Elementor websites out there. The next area of focus will be around performance in Q3, and specifically around TTFB. That stands for time to first byte, and it is a critical metric for measuring front-end performance. And we've tasked ourselves with the mission of improving it in Elementor significantly and making changes that you will notice. And the last focus area will be around resolving all the relevant bug reports from GitHub. And like I said in previous occasions, we truly appreciate your feedback. And I promise you that we read each and every bug report that you submit and all the feedback that you give us, the good and the bad. And it has a very real and concrete impact on our roadmap. So please keep it up. We can't get to everything all at once, but we are prioritizing, and eventually this feedback makes its way into the product, and it makes it better for everybody. So keep this up.
What's the best way to take part in shaping the product roadmap?
One of the best ways to participate and provide feedback that can directly impact the product is to become a beta tester. Elementor is used on 14 million websites. There are endless possibilities for using it, an infinite number of permutations in terms of the plugins that are being used, the server configurations, the versions. By becoming a beta tester, you can provide feedback about the quality of the new releases, but it is a great place to provide feedback about the actual features, their implementation. Let us know if something is missing or not working properly from a product perspective, or share any other relevant feedback. By providing concrete feedback so early in the process, there's a much better chance that your feedback can make it into the product and for you to make an impact on the roadmap. To become a beta tester, you can enable the beta versions of Elementor on your WordPress website by just going to Elementor menu, select Tools, and under version control, you can find the checkbox for enabling beta testing.
All right, thank you very much, Amitai. Now I'd like to welcome Gabi to join us. Gabi will provide us with some more interesting stats and updates for the year 2023 thus far.
Yes, so far, as Amitai mentioned, we have released close to 300 new updates. So we've actually done a total of 287 new updates, 21 new features, and 266 fixes, tweaks, and enhancements. So let's take a look at some of those tweaks and enhancements. So starting with the global styles preview. So previously you had the ability to set your global fonts and colors. And now with the global styles preview enabled, you can also get a full style sheet that will cover the entire canvas. And it's a great way to see how everything works together, what it looks like. Also, any change you make here will impact throughout the entire website, which is really great for building professionally consistent websites. The next update that I want to share is the ability to scroll horizontally with the nested tabs. So we introduced the nested tabs earlier this year, And the way we did it was that you had to choose a certain breakpoint at which it would break into an accordion. We did that to make sure that no matter what device it's being viewed on, you're able to see all the content. And we've gotten a lot of requests to not force anyone to turn it into an accordion. So we've done that. And you can choose the breakpoint to none. And then we've also added the ability to scroll horizontally just in case the tabs don't fit on the same row and you want to have them and you want to make sure that they're all seen through the viewport. So visitors can just scroll through the tabs as they go. Another update we've worked on that was also highly requested is the icon widget fit to size. So up until now, anytime you added an icon, it would have a 1-to-1 ratio. So if the width, as in this example, was longer than the height would take up the same amount of space as the width. And that would take up extra space, as you see in this example, where the dividers are a little farther than we wanted them to be from the content. So when you choose fit to size, the icon will actually fit to size and shrink the height to the appropriate height or width, but in this case, it's the height. Another update that's been highly awaited for was in the image widget. So when you add a height to the image widget and you choose the object fit to cover, previously it would set it to center, and you didn't really have anything to do with that. So now with this update, you can also choose to move it to center bottom, top left, and whatever other position you want your image to be in to get the image the way you want it to be. And I think that's all for our updates.
All right. Thank you very much, Gabby. Sorry about that. Now let's listen to a message for you from Miriam Schwab, our head of WordPress relations. How did Elementor celebrate WordPress's 20th birthday?
This year, WordPress celebrated 20 years of WordPress, which is amazing. And of course, WordPress is powering over 40% of the web, which is an incredible feat. So many around the world got together to celebrate this momentous occasion, including us here at Elementor. We organized the 20th birthday party for our beloved content management system and brought together some of the original community members, people who organized the first WordCamps in Israel, some of the first plugin developers and translators. And we had a really nice party here, and we did a little trivia, and we had a beautiful cake, and celebrated 20 years of an amazing piece of software and platform that we all use daily. So that was a really exciting event that we were happy to host here at Elementor.
How was WordCamp Europe?
We were also at WordCamp Europe. We had an amazing booth there. It was very dynamic, lots of people coming to visit us, ask questions. We had a claw machine, so people were excited to try to win our swag from the claw machine. That went really well, and we were, of course, always happy to engage with the community. I spoke on 2 panels, one about performance and one about partnerships, and those were really great. I also did a Connect session where we spoke about what it means to pitch your WordPress business. For the first time ever, there was a conference dedicated to WordPress and AI. It was an online conference organized by the great folks at Human Made, and I was privileged to be part of that conference and to speak about AI in general, how it contributes to the future of WordPress, and also to touch on some of Elementor's innovation around AI. So that was a really cool conference, and it was really exciting to be part of that. Gabriella Laster from Product Marketing, she also was on a panel about AI. With Elementor being on the forefront of AI for WordPress, it was really great to have Gabby on that panel speaking about AI in general and Elementor's approach to AI as well. So that was really successful, and we had a great time, as usual, meeting the community, connecting, and celebrating WordPress in Europe.
Tell us about your side event.
For the first time ever, Elementor also hosted a side event at WordCamp Europe for the general WordPress community. We held it at a beautiful rooftop garden bar with a view of the Acropolis. We had an open bar and an amazing DJ, and it was just really good vibes, and all these different types of people came from the WordPress community to hang out and meet up with a lot of energy before the conference started. We were really happy to co-host it with Patchstack, and we all just had a great time. We were told it was one of the best parties, and we were so happy to be able to host the community in that type of starting event for WordCamp Europe, and we had a great time with everyone.
So what's next?
So we were at WordCamp Asia, and we were at WordCamp Europe, and of course, what's up next? WordCamp US, and we'll be there too. So we're excited to meet up with community there in National Harbor, Maryland. We'll have a booth as usual, and some great people from our team are coming. So I hope you'll come and meet us, talk to us. You'll be able to ask us questions. We want to hear your feedback as well. So please come check us out and come visit us. We are also going to be hosting an event on Wednesday night for anyone from the community who has already arrived in National Harbor and wants to meet up and get together. So stay tuned for more details about that, but that will hopefully be really great.
All right, thanks, Miriam. Exciting times. Now, on to new hosting features. Let's welcome Asaf, who is going to share more about what's new from the past quarter and what we have planned moving forward.
Thanks, Ziv. It's great to be here again. And I'm very excited to tell about the last quarter. Our team has worked around the clock to provide you with robust hosting features and top loading speed, further positioning Elementor hosting as the ultimate solution for web creators building robust websites. With these features, we have aligned with the industry standard, catering professionals and beginners with hosting tools that allow you to gain more access and control over your website, providing a seamless experience for building websites with Elementor hosting. But we didn't stop there. We also supercharged our hosting performance by introducing state-of-the-art caching tool and upgrading to the highest tier of Google Cloud's C2 infrastructure. And what does it mean for you? An even more robust CPU and faster loading times and data transmission, and the result, high-speed website with high loading time and enhanced core web vitals that ensure your site visitors enjoy the best experience possible. So, without further ado, let's delve deeper into the latest hosting feature. The first one is site cloning. With site cloning, allows you now to quickly duplicate your entire website without the hassle of using backups, import, export, and installing plugins. Now you can easily clone an existing website and use it to create a new website in no time for your clients or your business. Second on the line is SFTP, which stands for Secure File Transfer Protocol. SFTP now allows you to access and edit your website file system, upload large files, transfer batches of files, and more, using a local client software such as FileZilla. Next is the database access. Now you have direct access and control over your website's database tables using the known PHP-MyAdmin, providing you control over important data tables such as posts, users, products, and more, allowing you to make changes, troubleshoot issues, run queries, and much, much more. And lastly, we have added new brand and business tools that complete our end-to-end hosting solution. And now buying a new domain and integrating it has never been easier. We have partnered with Hover to provide you a simple way to purchase, connect your domain with Elementor hosting. You can choose from 300 and more types of domains and seamlessly connect it to your website to elevate your online presence. We have also partnered with top email providers that will allow you to create your own business email that will match your domain name. So now you can choose from top providers such as Zoho, Google, and Microsoft and boost your professional image. So what's planned for the next quarter? First, migration tool. With our upcoming migration tool, you will be able to quickly and efficiently transfer your website to Elementor hosting and enjoy all the benefits our all-in-one solution offers. The second one, we're going to focus on enhancing the user experience. Our goal is to provide you with the most efficient way to build, launch, and manage your websites with a user-friendly interface that will improve your workflow and will help you deliver websites even faster. And last but not least, performance. We are also working on a unique feature that will boost your website loading time even more by enhancing the loading time of plugins, starting from the Elementor Pro plugin, further strengthening Elementor hosting as the best hosting for building with the Elementor Pro plugin. So stay tuned for more exciting features, improvements, and news. and try Elementor hosting new features and tools designed to provide you a true end-to-end solution for your website creation journey.
All right. Thank you very much, Asaf. And now let's get ready for an exciting message from Verdi, our head of developer partnerships, as he unveils something we've been working on too. Hey Verdi, you're head of developer partnerships now, right? Do you have anything juicy to share?
Actually, I do, and it's related to questions we often hear from our community members and a lot of new users, like which plugins work well with Elementor, what are the most used ones, is Elementor connected to these companies that make things better for us? And these are excellent questions, and I believe we now have a good way to answer them. We're going to start small at first with a small list of plugins and services that are popular among our community members. Then we plan to take things a whole lot further. In fact, this is just the start of a whole new way of working together with other companies within the WordPress ecosystem. This new overview will be available this quarter, and while we work on that, we're also going to connect to more and more other companies within the whole WordPress community to see how together we can make 1 + 1 = 3. By the way, if you own a WordPress product and you have users that also enjoy Elementor, please do reach out to us.
All right, thank you, Verdi, for this message. Now let's bring back Celine and Ash and check to see what is planned for Elementor 3.15 and the upcoming quarter. Over to you, Celine.
Thank you, Zev. Well, this was the surprise I mentioned earlier. Within the scope of content area widgets, the next widget we are proudly introducing is a new accordion widget with nested capabilities. Starting from version 3.15, you will be able to enjoy creating accordions with more than just text inside, as you previously had an old accordion and toggle widgets. Accordions hold great value when it comes to organizing content effectively. They allow us to group content with a lot of information into smaller chunks, hiding more detailed information in the collapsed parts. Using accordions in websites allows visitors to effortlessly scan and skim through content and quickly find what they need. Accordions are also great UI elements for space optimization. As web creators, we try to convey messages with the utmost clarity in a single view. And now with the power of containers, we can increase the impact by using visual and functional elements like videos, buttons, maps, icons, Lottie files within each accordion item. The possibilities are endless. Accordions by nature invite visitors to interact and engage with the content. They also lend themselves well to mobile-friendly websites as they provide a compact and touch-friendly way to interact with content. By providing the ability to add elements like buttons and loop grids, we unlock the ability to create a single-page web application-like experience within WordPress without the need for any coding expertise. In this example, we can see that we went one step further by adding the new carousel widget with nested capabilities inside an accordion. This is an amazing example of space optimization on the page while keeping visitors visually engaged. Without further ado, let's see it in action with Ash.
Great, thanks again, Celine. So yeah, let's check out the new nested accordion widget. So again, here we are on my website. If I scroll down, you can see that I've made a good start on my nested accordion. So the great thing now is if we open up one of these, we see a nice empty container, which obviously means we have full design control. So we can drop in as many different widgets in here as we like. We can create as much functionality as we would like to, which is incredibly helpful when building websites. So let's check out what options we have with the nested accordion widget. Once we've explored that, we'll then build out one of the sections just to see how easy and fast we can do that. So our widget is selected, and as you can see on the left-hand side, we see our items first of all. We have 3 here, but if we needed to add more, we can either duplicate existing ones or add blank ones using the add item here. We can amend things like the position of the text and the icon. And by default, it's set to start, but we could position it in the center, at the end, or we could stretch them out like so. We can then control the position of the icon as well. And we would like our icon to appear on the right-hand side here and our text on the left. So that's how we'll set it. We can set the HTML tag, which we'll set to H3. And then under the interactions option, you'll see that we have a new default state option here. And this is going to be incredibly helpful for many users, I'm sure. And you can see the default option here is first expanded. But what we can do is we can say all collapsed, and that will close that first accordion item, which I know a lot of you will be very happy about. I know I was. And as you can see, our first item has been closed. No need for any custom CSS to achieve that now. The second option we see here is where we can control how many items are expanded. So by default, my accordion will only ever expand one item. But if I would like for the users to be able to expand multiple items, I'll just select that here. And as you can see, as I open each of these, they will all remain open. Underneath the styling tab, we can control every aspect here, okay? So we can control the space between our items. We can control the space between our title and our content. We have normal, hover, and active states for backgrounds and borders. And we are actually going to add just a subtle border here using our global. So we have a nice line at the bottom there. We can also do things like add border radius and padding, and we do need some padding on our accordion here, and these settings are applied to the entire accordion, okay? But if we minimize that panel here and now open up the header, you can see we have controls for the text that we see in the header. I've already set these, so I won't make any amendments here, but as you can see, we have normal, hover, and active states, which is incredibly useful. And then underneath the content tab, okay, we can set things like backgrounds and borders. And again, we're going to add just a subtle, just a small border here, like so, so that we have a line that appears underneath the content. So that's our accordion configured. Let's now add some content. So I'm going to build out this first one here today, just to show you how easy it is to do. And if you've used containers, it's no different. There's nothing different here at all. All right, we're simply going to drop in widgets like this. I'm going to update this and set it to this image here. I'm then going to add in some text. And this isn't appearing quite how we wanted it to. We're going to amend this slightly, and we're going to do that by selecting the container. Okay, so the actual accordion itself, which will change to row. We'll then adjust the items so they sit in the center like this. And I think we just need like a little bit of space on our image here. So let's just add a little bit of space there. And I'd actually like this text to be 2 columns. And as you can see, it's just super easy to use all of the widgets that you are super familiar with, okay, inside these sections. And I believe I need just a little bit more padding. So I'm going to go back to my style tab here and open up the content and just add a little bit of space on the top and bottom. And there we go. Now I'm going to jump forward now, and I'm going to show you the finished accordion. So I'm going to jump to the front end of my website here and scroll down. And if we open up that first item here, we see the section that we just built. And I also want to show you this section, which I built earlier on today, okay, just to showcase that we can build anything that we like in these sections. So I've used a little bit of custom code here just to dynamically display the map depending on which address the user selects. And as you can see, as I flick between those, the map updates and shows the user the correct location. And there we go. Back to you, Celine.
Thank you, Ash, for the amazing demo. Another use case is the product pages, where we could include image boxes or icon lists in the important details sections like materials and product care instructions, because no one would have scrolled down just to view that, right? Another important update that will be available in Elementor with version 3.15, which is also 6th most requested feature on GitHub, is the taxonomy filter widget. It's a very significant milestone functionality we are adding within the context of the loop grid and dynamic content. And this is just the first phase, which will be further improved in upcoming releases. Previously, you would have needed additional plugins to filter items in your grid. The upcoming taxonomy filter automatically recognizes how many loop grid widgets you have on a page and allows you to select the one you want to apply the filter to. We can choose from different taxonomies like tags or categories, or even custom taxonomies created for custom post types. But that's not all. We have the flexibility to hide or display empty taxonomy items within the filter. Additionally, we have the option to hide the taxonomy children or to choose the depth of children while displaying them, and more. On top of that, for mobile views or situations where taxonomy titles are lengthy, the horizontal scroll functionality comes to the rescue, ensuring optimal visibility and a seamless browsing experience. In this first portfolio example, the taxonomy filter is placed horizontally on top of the loop grid widget and items are aligned to the left. I would like to leave it to Ash now to demonstrate how it works.
Great, thanks, Celine. So yeah, let's check out the new taxonomy widget. So here we are back on my shop page, okay, and I've got my loop grid, which is displaying my products, but there's no way to filter these. So let's fix that. So in the widgets panel, let's search for taxonomy, and we'll see this new widget here called taxonomy filter. We're going to just drop that into our template or page, whatever you're using. And as you can see, not much is happening straight away. We need to connect this to a loop grid first of all. Now, we do only have one loop grid displaying on our page. So when we select this drop down, we do only see one in the list. But if we had multiple loop grids, then they would all display as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. With the loop grid selected, we've made a connection now, but we now need to tell Elementor which taxonomy we would like to filter by. So using the drop down, we see all available taxonomies. And to keep this nice and simple today, we're going to choose the good old product category. Now, once I do that, you see that our taxonomy filter instantly updates. And I have pre-styled this just to speed up this demonstration for you all today. I wanted to show you the functionality more than anything. But yeah, there we go. And if I select one of these accessories, you can see that our listing grid updates beautifully to show the relevant products depending on which category I've chosen. But what options do we have when it comes to configuring this even more? Well, the first one we see is direction. So it's set to horizontal by default, but we can set it to vertical if we would like to. And I will show you that shortly. We'll come back to that. We can then align the items. So by default, they're set to start, but we can say center, end, or we can stretch them out like so. And when we stretch them, we can also amend the alignment of the text like this, but we're going to go back to start there. In our settings panel, we see lots more control. So the first option we see here is to display empty items. So if I turn this on, we see the good old favorite uncategorized that we are instantly presented with whenever we install WooCommerce. Okay, it can't be deleted. So it's showing there, and I don't have any products in there. So I'm going to switch that off because it's not going to be very helpful for my store. We then have the taxonomy children section. Now, I do have children categories underneath the bath and body category here. So watch this. When I turn this on, you'll see the soap category appears. And if I select that, then only the soap options show up for us. The next option is to choose the depth of the children. Now, I do only have one level of child to this item, so 1 is correct for my installation. But if you have multiple levels, then you can control that all the way down to 6 using the depth field. We can also choose to show or hide the all button, so I can turn that off if I would like to. And if I've got it switched on, I can amend that text if I would like to. We can then finally control the number of taxonomies, okay, that are displayed. So if I only wanted to show 4, for example, for whatever reason, I can control that here. But if we leave that field blank, it will show them all. And then the final option we see here is the horizontal scroll that Celine mentioned. Okay, it's disabled by default, but we can turn it on, and we can turn it on per device, okay, if we would like to. And that's going to be really helpful on mobile screens when you can't view all of the taxonomies, okay, on a smaller screen there. Now, before we get into the vertical taxonomy filter, I wanted to just show that we can use multiple filters. So if I duplicate this first one, and if I then change the taxonomy to tags, okay, this is going to display all of the tags that I have available on my website. So if I select bath and body, first of all, and then if I choose gifts, it's only going to show me products, okay, that are in the bath and body category that have the tag of gifts. So we can combine those filters and they work really well together. So let's now just get rid of that second one. And I'm going to quickly show you the vertical option here. So selecting the taxonomy widget again under direction, let's change this to vertical. And as you can see, it's now shown in a vertical list. Now we're going to select the parent container that's holding all of these items to allow us that side-by-side view. So we're going to switch this to row first of all. Don't worry that it looks a mess right now. We're then going to set it to space between, and then we're going to turn on that wrap option there. Now, with the taxonomy filter selected, let's give this a custom width of 15%. And now let's select the loop grid and give that a custom width of 80%, like so. One final thing I think here is to select the taxonomy widget again, and let's set it to stretch so that it fills all of the available space there. And if I just hide the panel for you all and scroll down slightly, you can see that our filter sits on the left-hand side there and filters our products beautifully. So there we go. Back to you, Celine.
Really looking forward to doing that in Elementor. Well, back to you, Ziv.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ash and Celine. And thank you very much for the demos. I think our viewers really enjoyed that. So thank you for that. Now, let's bring back Gabi. Okay? Gabi, you also have some smaller, yet highly requested and important updates and tweaks planned for the upcoming quarter, right?
I do. So I'm going to follow up on some of what Amitai shared a little bit earlier. And let's see what we have in store for the upcoming quarter. So one thing we can see right here, with modern design, it would be good to have the upcoming loop carousel have an offset feature, so the next card is only partly visible and goes off the edge of the page. Well, we have that coming up in the upcoming version. So if we were to add a new carousel, we're actually adding 2 new updates to the upcoming version. So the carousel, the new carousel widget, and the loop carousel. We're adding the ability to offset slides. So you could choose whether you want to offset it on the right, the left, or both. And we're also adding new styling capabilities for the navigation and pagination. So as you see in this example, the arrows are both on the top right. You have full control to position the navigation arrows wherever you'd like. You can also style them however you'd like to, but that's not a new capability. We are also giving you the ability to move the navigation wherever you'd like to. So you have full control of where the pagination and navigation appear. Another update we have coming up is in the mega menu. So far, we have released the nested menu, the mega menu. We've also added the ability to add icons in the top level. Going forward, we will also be adding the ability to create a vertical menu. So you can create vertical mega menus. And we will also be adding horizontal scrolling, similar to what we did with the nested tabs. In terms of the loop builder, so far, we released the loop grid and carousel. And upcoming, we also released the loop alternate template, so the static and dynamic item position that we demonstrated today. But going forward, we're going to be enhancing the loop builder even more. So we have the taxonomy filter that Ash just demoed with Celine. We're also going to be enhancing the taxonomy filter with multi-select and checkboxes and improving the logic when you use more than one taxonomy filter connected to the same loop grid. And we're going to be adding Ajax pagination. Another update we have is something that Amitai mentioned earlier, is that we're going to be bringing all the features in the feature page or the experiment page, formerly known as the experiment page, and turning them on by default. A lot of the wonderful releases we've had over the past year are dependent on the container. And over the upcoming quarter, we want to bring all these features to maturity so that they're ready for prime time, as Amitai mentioned, and you can use them safely, comfortably on your websites. So that's something we're going to be working on in the upcoming quarter. And another update we have for you is about CSS classes. So last roadmap event, we mentioned that we were going to be introducing it coming soon. CSS classes is the ability to save certain settings and advanced settings and use them as a class and apply them to different widgets. We have done extensive research into what that would look like today with the current infrastructure. Obviously, we're continuously updating this infrastructure and renewing it. We realized that with the current infrastructure, we wouldn't be able to give you a lot of impact or the impact we really want to give you with the CSS classes. So we're not canceling it, but we are delaying it a little bit. So we just wanted to keep you in the know. That's all.
All right, thank you very much for sharing that. Now it's my pleasure to welcome Dean. All right, so Dean is going to join us to showcase and discuss inspiring demos of Elementor AI, and we'll see it in action. So get ready to be amazed.
All right, pleasure to be here. It's been incredibly exciting to see how Elementor AI is revolutionizing the way hundreds of thousands of you build websites. Elementor's integrated AI features have been helping so many of you boost productivity and unleash your creativity in ways that were just unimaginable a few months ago. Since we first introduced Elementor AI, we've integrated text, code, and image generators right into the editor, and we're just getting started. So today, let's do a quick recap of the amazing features available and check out two awesome image editing tools, Remove and Replace Background, that will be added as part of Elementor 3.15. In the interest of time, we've pre-recorded some of the examples. So let's get started with the text generator, which has been helping you create original and professional copy at lightning speed.
Let's start by scrolling down to the section that we create with Elementor AI. Click the text box and then click Edit with AI. Notice how there are suggested prompts, but today I'll write one from scratch. I'll type in, write a 2-sentence subheader for a painting company's website. As you can see, we got some great copy, and I can choose to edit it with a click. Our options are simplify language, make it longer, make it shorter, or fix spelling and grammar. We could also change the tone and choose to translate it into 25 different languages. Let's try French. That looks great. The only problem is I don't really speak French, and you should always proofread the content that you generate with AI. So I'll translate it back to English and use the text in my text box, and there you go.
Next, let's check out the image generator and editing tools that empower you to bring your vision to life with a short text description. These new features make it easier than ever to create and edit images without going through thousands of stock images.
For our next trick, click into the image widget and click Edit with AI. Let's enter a prompt like, a cozy minimalist living room with a modern interior. Now let's use the prompt enhancer that uses generative AI to make our text prompts more effective when generating images. I'll set the aspect ratio and generate the image. Out of the 4 options, I like this one the most. Now I can click Edit to go to the AI image editing panel. We can expand the image by generating content around its edges, use generative fill to add or remove parts of the image, resize it to make the image larger while improving its resolution, and also use the Remove and Replace Background tools, which we'll demonstrate in a bit. I'll click on Generative Fill to use the brush to mark the area I want to fill. In the prompt area, I'll write Add Pillow and generate the new image. Of the 4 options, this looks the best, but it isn't perfect just yet, so I'll continue editing it. Click the Variations tool and copy in the original prompt. Now set the image to look more like the prompt than the original image, and click Generate Image. This one looks just right. Now I'll click Use Image to see it in my section. As promised, we'll also see the new Remove and Replace Background editing tools added in Elementor 3.15. Let's scroll up and click on the picture of the lamp and click Edit with AI. Now click Remove Background. Notice how it automatically detects the subject of the image and gives it a transparent background. I can also replace the background. Click Edit with AI and click Replace Background. I'll enter a simple description of the desired background and click Generate. Now I can put the new image in my section and continue building.
And finally, let's take a look at the code generator, which gives you the power of custom HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, even if you don't know how to write a single line of code.
Let's go back to the section we populated with AI-generated content and generate custom CSS for a new image. To add custom CSS, click into the Image widget and go to the Advanced tab. Scroll down to Custom CSS and click Edit with AI. Now let's enter a prompt like, add a circle-shaped clip mask on an image and apply a semi-transparent effect on hover with a smooth animation. Now click Generate Code and click Insert. There you have it, a circle-shaped mask with a smooth transparent effect on hover, and I don't even know how to code.
So that was a quick glimpse of the AI tools that help you generate relevant and SEO-friendly marketing copy, add powerful custom HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code to your widgets, and generate the perfect images tailored to your needs. For more information and inspiration, check out the Elementor prompt library. It is packed with great examples of how you can elevate your workflow with AI. So back to you, Ziv.
Thank you very much, team. Really, really great. And that's a wrap for today's Elementor Roadmap event. Once again, we're very sorry for the delay and the technical difficulties. We're happy that we managed to go live. And we hope that you enjoyed hearing from our team and learning about all the exciting things we have in store for the upcoming quarter. And I'd like to remind you that you can check out the public roadmap at any time on elementor.com/roadmap. So thank you for tuning in and being part of the Elementor community. And we're always here to listen to your feedback and suggestions. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us through our social channels or support team. Until next time, keep creating.